Hello students, welcome to session number 10 in module number 2 in hydroelectric power plant, where we are going to discuss about the factors which we have to consider for site selection of hydroelectric energy. Okay, so site selection for hydroelectric energy, where we are going to discuss about what are the various factors we have to consider in order to set up a hydroelectric power plant. Okay, when it comes to site selection for hydroelectric energy, we have to consider several factors which is very important, and we have to study about these factors, these uh, important things, and uh, and based on we can decide we can decide about the hydroelectric energy. So the factors which should be considered by selecting the site for hydroelectric power plant are, in that very first and foremost one is uh, availability of water, availability of water, where the design and capacity of the hydro plant is greatly depends on the amount of water available in that site. Okay, so the runoff data is very much essential, along with the precipitation at the proposed site, with maximum and minimum quantity of water available in a year, which should be made available to decide the capacity of the plant, and to decide about the setup the peak load plant, such as whether alternative to this as a steam, diesel or gas turbine plant. And it's very much essential to provide adequate spillways or gate relief during the flood period. Okay, so that is very important. So we should know what is availability of water, and how much water is available and runoff is you can able to get for particular year. Then next, second point is storage of water, water storage capacity or storage of water. So since there is a wide variation in rainfall all around the year, so it is not constant, it is changing time to time and place to place. So it is always necessary to store the water for continuous power generation. Okay, so after setting up a hydroelectric power plant, we cannot keep as idle. So we have to produce power continuously. So we require to produce power, we require water. So continuous it is very necessary to store the water for continuous generation of power. The storage capacity can be estimated with the help of mass curve. Okay, so I will explain what is mass curve and what is runoff later. Okay, just now you should know this is one more parameter or one more factor which will decide about the site. Okay, for hydroelectric energy. Next, this is very important one, available of head of water, or available water head or head of water. So in order to generate the desired quantity of water, it is necessary that a large quantity of water at a sufficient head should be available. Head is nothing but it is the distance between the water level in tail raised to uh, pump or turbine. Okay, head raised to turbine. Okay, so an increase in effective head for a given output reduces the quantity of water required to be supplied and to the turbines. In order to decide about the capacity of power production as well as the type of turbine, this head of water is very much essential. Okay, so that is the number third factor which will decide about the site of for hydroelectric energy. Then very much important one is groundwater data. So this is important in order to decide about the site, because as I told, it is where we can study about the rainfall, and we can study about the how much an amount of water is stored. We can store, and how much amount of water has to be stored for continuous power generation, and we can study about runoff. Okay, so groundwater data is very much essential. Then next point is distance from the load center. So where load center, I hope all of you know what is load center. The point of application. Okay, load center is nothing but point of application. So it is the if the site is very close to the load center, the cost of transmission lines and transmission losses are reduced. If it is far, then the transmission losses are very high. That is about distance from the load center. Then accessibility. Apart from this, one more important factor is accessibility of the site. So the site should be easily accessible by rail and road. So that means the site of the dam or power plant should be easily accessible in all the seasons. It should be feasible to connect the site with good line of communication, and it should not very far from the transportation. Okay, so it is very much essential. And also there should be a suitable site. That site should be very much suitable for providing a live accommodation to the laborers and engineering staff. It is very essential to see that the climate of the site should be healthy. And very important is overall cost of construction and maintenance of the dam should be taken into consideration. Okay, so again, while selecting a dam, you should able to consider nature of foundation, nature of valley, and type of dam. Then whether it is sound rock formation in the foundation or poor rock in earth foundation. Then you should able to study about the permeability of foundation material. Okay, so these are the important points. As I told, you can able to see the some explanation about for this site selection. In first case, availability of water, which is nothing but the site selected should be such that a requisite quantity of water is to be available throughout the year for economical generation of power, storage of water. Then head of water, because it is mainly this H is directly proportional to power. If head is more, the power is you are going to produce more. Then groundwater data, that is it is an important factor to be considered, since it decides the stability of the ground and the reservoir and dam construction area. So it is essential to select a site which has lesser groundwater movement, as it provides solid reservoir base, and also seepage will be minimum. So distance from the load center, these are the important factors uh, which will decide about the site for hydroelectric power station.